bring your attention to something. When God tells, or the Bible tells us, faith without works is dead. I know we tend to misinterpret what that word actually meaning to say that in our mind, some of us, we interpret that to mean that if we desire something and we believe that God will bring it to pass because we desire it, that means we have to work hard towards accomplishing it. And see, the thing with that is you have to be so careful because it's a thin line between your desire and God's desire. And sometimes when there's is our desire, selfish ambition tends to seep in there, where when God said that he would do something, or we just desire for God to do something and it hasn't happened yet, we try to make it happen ourselves. And sometimes when we do that, we cause a whole mess because we have misinterpreted what faith without works is dead mean. But in reality, what faith without works is dead mean is that when God tells you that he's going to do something for you, he promises it to you. He's going to do it. And it's up to you to believe that he's going to do it. Now, when God gives you this prophecy on whatever it is he's going to do for you, there's no requirement for you to jump in to make that thing happen unless the Holy Spirit has told you to do a certain thing to make that thing happen. In most cases, faith without works is dead, meaning that you are to be led by the instruction of the Holy Spirit. It doesn't matter if the Holy Spirit is telling you to go in a direction that does not seem like it's going to lead to that thing. You believing that God is faithful and that he will not let you down. So you do whatever the Holy Spirit tells you to do. It's not that, I have to put the work in to make this thing happen for myself. If God is telling you he's going to do something for you, that means that God is going to do something for you, do it for you. And so I want to remind you of the story that speaks so clearly on this. And that is in the book of Abraham. When God promised Abraham a son, Abraham told God that if he don't have any offspring, so he would have to name an heir in a slave in his home as an heir to his inheritance. And when he said that to God, God promised him that he would have an offspring. And so time went on and that didn't happen. And so his wife Sarah decided to take matters into her own hands. And so she gave the slave to Abraham to have a child. So the very thing Abraham spoke to God about not wanting to happen, where a slave would be the heir, his wife ignorantly set it up where that could possibly happen. And so he ended up they ended up giving birth to Ishmael, and it caused some rejection on Ishmael's mother Hagar in Ishmael's part, because Sarah stepped out in her selfish ambition to please her husband and got in the way of what God was trying to do. And so that is what the Bible mean when he say faith without works is dead, meaning to say that if God says that he's going to do something, he don't need our help unless he's telling us to do it. It is not up to us to figure out where to jump in to help God make that happen, like Sarah did. And Abraham ended up having Isaac anyway in God's timing that did not make sense to anyone. And that's usually what happens. The appointed time is not going to always make sense to you. But because you know that God is too faithful to fail you, you trust him and you just continue to do what the Holy Spirit leads you to do, knowing that that thing is going to happen. That's what faith without works mean. That means you allowing the Holy Spirit to lead you. You're being obedient no matter what the Holy Spirit is telling you to do, no matter what, you're consistently being that, no matter how long it takes. That's what faith without works mean. And the book of James speaks on this as well in the section James chapter 2 around 20, because we get so caught up in trying to help God, and God doesn't need our help he needs our obedience. I'll say that. He needs our obedience. But if God has prophesied or gave us a promise, he's going to ensure that thing happen. It is not up to us to figure out how to make that thing happen. And so many of us get caught up in that, and we fall into selfish ambition, and then things are just, chaotic, and it's not going right, or it fails, or we interfere with what God tried to do, and now it doesn't look like it's going to happen at all, because it was never intended for us to step in with our own plan. God already had the plan for it. And so if God needs us to do something that will help move towards that thing or help that thing come to pass, he will tell us. So it's not for us to decide what the works in that situation is. It's for us to, it is not for us to decide what the plan and the path to get to that thing is. It's up to us to be led by the Holy Spirit, knowing in our heart and in our spirit that if God said it's going to happen, it is going to happen. So I pray that this gives someone some kind of clarity on their situation, because so often we get upset with God because things aren't happening, and the whole time we're not even in alignment with his will, because we taken it upon ourselves to move before him, to go ahead of him, to make things happen for ourselves. And that was never what that was intended to be. That was never what the plan was. And so again, I pray this will help someone that finds themselves in that situation where they've allowed selfish ambition to interfere with the prophecy that God placed on their life. So